everybody, it's Gary, Main Brew Guy. I got a couple of things to talk about, but while we're doing that, Matt from Wrecked Brewing and I did a Marzen. We did it late, so it wasn't ready until Halloween, so we called it Spooktoberfest instead. It was a really good beer. Mine, I was supposed to save one, but somebody here drank it and it wasn't me. So I had one left in the fridge. I apologize, Matt. I really wanted to do a side-by-side on this. But I had plenty of them, so I remember them well. All right, let's unsissy this pour here. And leave that in a little bit in the pool. So right off, I noticed a little bit of difference between mine and his. The color is roughly the same, but mine was a bit clearer. I think this one's a little more cloudy. He sent me two, so we'll see what the other one looks like. And a little less head retention for some reason. Okay, before I get too far into this beer. So we had a really good time New Year's Eve. We had the Brewtubers New Year's Eve, Ring in 2021 New Year's Zoom bash, whatever you want to call it. Such a good time. I was up till 4 in the morning. It was crazy. We were ringing in the new year from East Coast to West Coast. We had some folks on there that we haven't seen in so long. Some have gone pro, or one had gone pro, and he showed up. I'm going to go ahead and show a little bit of that right now.
Anyway, go Bills.
I'm in one-dimensional.
Yeah, Dennis is a gentleman.
we go.
Where the hell is he? Why isn't he in this lineup tonight?
I don't know. I'll text him right now, see if he's up, but I doubt he's
Tell him
up.
to get his ass in here.
No shit.
I got it. We were texting. He hoard out and collab with Nick and Brandon Monday morning, and him and I brewed Monday afternoon. We did a Black is Beautiful, so
I'm wanting to do a black IPA that has 0 roast. All I want is black color, period. I want it to be light. I want it to be crisp. I just want it to be black. That's it. So I've got to get that beer under, in fermenters soon.
So actually, we pulled out. We did the Black is Beautiful recipe. Well, we pulled out some of the dark malt because Dennis was watching somebody's video. I forget his name, but somebody's video about he brewed it and it was really too much of something, and so we modified the recipe and we pulled out all the some of the dark malt, not all of it, but some of it. So, hi.
Night.
He's a ninja. He just popped right out of the screen.
Right?
Wow.
That's my eldest twin.
So here's my thought, Steve, on getting a dark. I have never brewed a black IPA, but I recently discovered chocolate rye, and I like chocolate rye because when you have dark roasted malts, you want to cold steep it, put it in after the boil, or you want to put it in towards the final stage of the mash. You all these tricks to try to keep the roastiness from coming in, but chocolate rye is kind of cool because even if you put it in a mash, you don't really get you get a lot of dark color, but you don't, and you get really cool flavors, but you don't get the roastiness. So I think if you get a combination of like a cold steep with chocolate rye, a lot of chocolate rye, you would get the color, but not the roast.
So the second part of it will be, I have actually, I want to say it's not PBW. What is it?
PB2.
PB2 is what I'll be adding in just to touch it up a little bit because I don't want it to be an overwhelming peanut butter. I just want it to be there. I don't want it to be big, which I'll be brewing again. But that'll be the base, and I'll be using the cereal and the mash and a little bit in secondary, and then I'll use the PB2 to help try and bring a little bit of the peanut butter forward without actually killing head retention. So
You know what's
That's-
so interesting is, yeah, and to just because it's so relevant, because you mentioned adding it to the mash, is Brandon and I doing the cereal milkshake IPA collab with Dennis. We added a full box of Fruity Pebbles to the mash, and
What?
yeah, we added a whole box. It was like a 15-ounce box of Fruity Pebbles to the mash. No
Really?
rice hulls. What was
it's
that?
It's not gonna pull up. It's gonna be. We were tasting it. We bought an extract too. Brian put us on from Short Circuit. Put us on to a good extract company and so I think we're gonna have to put a little of that extract.
We might have to, but
pull
yeah,
it
when
out.
we tasted the sample, I did get some Fruity Pebbles. I could say that on some level, you're adding 15 ounces of the cereal. I thought I would get more, to be honest, and maybe it's different with the peanut butter. I've never brewed with peanut butter. I have no idea. I can only speak to the Fruity Pebbles, but and also adding the lactose to the boil, I think may have helped accentuate that Fruity Pebble flavor. I did expect to get more adding a whole box, to be honest. I added a whole box and we got a little bit, but not a ton. So it'll be interesting to see how it ferments out.
Well, Larry, actually, you have pretty good experience with using peanut butter in beers, right, Larry?
Yeah, I was just doing extract though. J.R.
Yeah,
Watkins actually made a really good one, and I added that to it. And now I gave one to Nate, and he held on to it for a long time, and he said it tasted like crap after that because he's going to do a video on it. So it might have turned. So fresh, it's really good, and I don't know the longevity of it. So it could have been a bad bottle too, but that's just.
Well, that's a great point, because one of the things I found, like when I did my maple donuts porter,
What was that?
I put look at that.
So that's the peanut butter stuff that I used in the Recesses peanut butter cup.
Okay. Yeah.
See, and I didn't get a ton of peanut butter in that beer. Like
that thing was just piling with peanut butter. It was actually overpowering. I need to back off on it.
What do you think, Brandon? Because we had it together. I felt like I'd have to rewatch that review video. It could have been older.
Yeah.
Well, like
I honestly can't remember off the
did
top of my head.
my Maple's donut porter. I did a dozen donuts in the mash, then I did another dozen donuts in secondary, and that actually came through fantastic. However, that is it's a recipe for disaster. So that's a beer that has to go quick. You have to drink it fast. Because what ended up happening was as it aged, it turned. So it was way better, fresh. And actually, I canned a couple of them, and the cans really held on nice, because I just had the beer in the can. I didn't. You didn't have that live yeast, and all that shit going on. The keg went south. It went sour because I introduced a dozen donuts in the secondary. That's a hell of a risk,
That's a lot of donuts.
It's a bunch of donuts, but it worked. It worked in the beginning. So that beer was very good at the beginning, and it's one of those deals where you've got to know where to use, you got to know how to present that beer, type thing.
Happy
so
New Year.
Larry actually had to pull those people across the halls
Happy New Year,
over
boys.
to his area.
Central
Happy
Coast
New Year.
boys.
Happy New Year to everybody on the West Coast.
Oh yeah, did you guys?
Not the West Coast. Not the
West
West Coast.
Central.
Oh, you're in the what? You're in the center of the country.
Not the West
Central
Coast.
time zone there.
You got
Man.
Have another one, Nick.
Shut up, Gary.
You're so dumb. You're so stupid.
Did we not have a blast up in Rhode Island? I mean, the
I
way
love
we
it. It
present,
was my first experience. I thought it was phenomenal.
it was so much fun.
It was
And
If I could just give a shout out real
It-
quick,
it-
I didn't sell my beer. Mike Dean sold my beer. Mike Dean was the one. He was filling up the cups, and I heard him say multiple times mentions of our Saison and our New England IPA and how good it was. So to Mike was the presenter of the group in terms of the beers and how good they were. So kudos, cheers to Mike for that. Because
and Gary had his Belgian quad that was
That
barrel
was
aged.
awesome beer.
I didn't get. There were more
had
positive things to
great-
say about that Belgian quad than any other.
We had a
beer, you know.
great lineup of beers.
Yeah.
We did.
I want to
Oh,
come back to the. You're fast.
Ooh,
I'm a
ninja.
quick
I
fingers.
thought-
Brandon's been drinking the least out of all of us.
That's not elder. That's a ceiling fan.
that Steve's got a fucking slick finger. Right?
No, you didn't.
Shut up, Dave.
Tyler.
I'll see you guys later. Happy New Year.
Lermo, I
Hey,
love
Larry.
you. Lermo, I
You
love
too.
you.
Love you
You're
too,
the
Nick.
man. You give the best hugs of anybody I know. You are the hug champion in this fucking homebrew club. I love you, buddy.
He is.
so gay.
Hogs? Really?
Dude, if you haven't had a
Never.
Lermo hug, you're
I would
missing out.
never give you a hug. If you were on fire and the only way to put you out was a nice warm embrace by me, you would be in flames, my friend.
I'll take it. I'll take it,
So
Brandon.
cold.
Laramie and hockey player are actually almost the same height. I met them both in person.
Oh yeah,
Same night
Same night in Rhode Island.
in Rhode Island.
And several other
Hula hands, Halligans, or something like that.
Hooligan.
Callahan's.
Oh, hey Larry, I got some British friends that found out they're going to get stationed in Norfolk, so I got to link you up with those guys when they show up.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah, and they love beer.
So one
I
of
love
the
it.
things that really shocked me about hockey player was when he came in and Laramie walked in. I'm like, holy fuck! I'm the shortest guy in the room. And I'm 6'2".
That was a
That
good
is
night.
something.
That was a good night. I fell asleep on the way home.
Yeah, that was a
You
good.
And
guys,
Andy.
you guys did the Sam Adams. What the hell's the big? What the hell's
the fractal freezing beer would yeah, I know.
yeah. What the hell is that?
Come on,
The,
Nick, help me
Utopia.
out.
Yeah,
Utopia.
that thing's expensive.
Utopia.
Oh,
There you go, there you
Utopia.
Because I remember we were on a video chat in a bar. You know, I was there, but I wasn't there. You know,
Yeah, it was like
We were sipping on Utopia in that bar in Rhode Island.
$20 shots.
Yeah.
Is that something?
I thought
kind
it
of
was
beer
like
is that?
$30 shots, but maybe it was 20.
It is a beer.
it's
I mean,
an
I guess
ale,
by
but-
technical terms,
yeah,
Technically,
yeah,
it is. Yes.
but it's it kind of drinks like a whiskey, right? Is that
Sherry.
right?
yeah, like a
Or
brandy.
sherry.
I would say
Well,
yeah, like a sherry or brandy. Yeah.
It has.
I'd
heat.
always heard it was more like a brandy.
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
My first experience with it was in a cold garage. This actually February was the first time I've had it. So we sat there and we drank some Utopia and we finished off a couple kegs and it was a good time.
Kegs.
Yeah.
Kegs, not kegs of Utopia.
Yeah, not of Utopia.
Yeah.
You'd be
and-
fucking-
So for what it's worth, I did do a little deep dive. The malt is a 2-row pale blend, caramel 60 in Munich, and then they throw it in some aquavit barrels. I don't know if you guys are familiar with aquavit. I've had aquavit because I have a neighbor that goes to the Czech Republic. Not great, not a great liquor. Doesn't taste phenomenal at all. And it's also blended with muscat barrels. But it's 28%, 45 IBUs, in case you were wondering about the bitterness on it, and 175 calories.
But you,
So,
at least,
Wow.
at least from what I remember,
they
there
do
was
add
no
maple
bitterness.
syrup. They do
There
add
was no-
maple syrup.
Really? I didn't know that.
Didn't know what.
That they added maple syrup.
Oh yeah, they add maple syrup, and the hop varieties are very middle fruit, Tettnanger, naturally anything that's going to
Maple syrup is like butter with my mother-in-law. She's a just chain smoker. She's like throwing ashes everywhere and she's cooking like something. I'm like, I said, Lynn, this is so good. What do you do? Throw some butter in it. She throws butter and everything. Maple syrup and beer, it's the same thing, right?
That's old school, man. I was trying really hard for this to be my last.
Good
No,
luck.
Said every home brewer on video conference ever.
exactly.
Gary, so I got to ask you, Gary. I mean, seriously, we tried that
Yeah.
Utopia.
Yes.
Did you? I got no bitterness. It was warm. It was kind of like he said, it was kind of like whiskey, not quite as harsh, but
To me, it was like drinking more like sherry. It was like
The sherry, they have it on the website. It says that.
Okay, that was pretty cool, right? Oh my God, it was so much fun. Yeah, so let's get to Matt's beer here. So I'm getting the, you know, I'm not getting much but the malt, and it's sweet smelling, clean, a little bit of like maybe plum, which is odd because I wasn't getting plum on mine at all. I wish I had mine here. It's so bad. All right, here we go. Yeah, that's so much different. It's so weird. We brewed the same exact recipe, same water profile, same yeast. The only thing, wait a minute, I gotta think back. I think that we had a difference in Vienna malt. His Vienna malt was a different SRM than mine. I believe that was the case. And we didn't realize it until brew day, and I'm like, hey, what's the SRM of your Vienna? And he's like, oh, it's this and this. And I'm like, ew, mine's way lighter than that. So mine did come out a little lighter, and for some reason clear. Matt, did you use gelatin on yours? Because I did on mine. That's the only thing I can think of. It's super good though. It's just different. It's completely different beer. I really like this one too. Not completely different, but different enough. Wow. Well, he sent me two, and I'm thankful for that, because I'll get to enjoy another one of these because they are really good. Matt and I did two collabs together. We did a New Zealand IPA, a New Zealand Pilsner, and that was fantastic. When I first started drinking that beer, I thought I had put too much lime zest, and I only put like 3/4 of a regular lime with just the green part. And that, after 2 months, mellowed out nicely. It blended with the beer. It was barely perceivable. It wasn't overpowering. It just really worked with the hop selection we did. That beer came out crystal clear. It was such an easy drinking beer. I love that beer. It went so fast. I started drinking it early. I should have waited. I was super impatient, you know. But by the end of the 2-month mark, it was crystal clear, crisp. We collabed this one as well. And yeah, I think there was just a difference in the Vienna malt, and everything else was the same. We used the same yeast. The only thing I do a little different with mine is I have maybe a little bit of pressure on my brew bucket, maybe a couple PSI. That's about all it'll hold anyway. And that's really it. That's the only difference, and that little bit of SRM difference between his Vienna malt and my Vienna malt. I don't know what that, probably a different manufacturer. Oh, I also have the winner of the sweatshirt. I'll cut out to that right now. All right, as promised, it's the middle of January, and I'm drawing the names for the sweatshirt, the one extra large sweatshirt that I have. I think it's extra large. Anyway, I put all the names in this bucket for the comments. I folded them. I kind of know the shape of these, so I'm gonna have my daughter draw them, just so it's I don't know, better random. Okay.
Running on beer.
Running on beer. All right. That's the winner, Running on Beer. All right, so congratulations to Running on Beer, which I believe the sweatshirt is an extra large. So congratulations. Congratulations on losing the weight. Congratulations on winning the sweatshirt. I think I have your address, so I'll go ahead and ship that out. Anyway, thanks, Matt. This was really good, and I look forward to drinking the other one. It's, I wish I could have done the side-by-side. I don't know if you did. I think you're holding off. I'm not sure. You're getting, you had a tasting issue, I guess, as far as I want to go with that. Your taste buds weren't working. So, yeah, get well soon. Cheers.